Tim Cameron here with Everything Denver, Colorado, and if you've been looking for the perfect place where you can live an outdoor active lifestyle, still have a small town feel, and one of the best places to raise a family and have kids, then this video is for you. Guys, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, this is Everything Denver, where we explore all the amazing Denver neighborhoods and cities and suburbs around Denver, and specifically South Metro Denver. It's where we've been spending a lot of our time lately because it's one of the most popular areas for people that are relocating to Colorado in general. So subscribe to the channel while you're here, and don't forget to download the free relocation guide I have linked in the video description below. In today's video, guys, we're exploring the town of Castle Rock, Colorado, and I am here right now at one of the amazing parks and kind of community center parks, activity complexes that we have here in Castle Rock, one of the favorites of a lot of families that end up choosing to move here. And the reason we're starting our video out here is because it has some of the best things to do in Castle Rock, and for free, I might add. So here I'm at the amphitheater at the Philip Miller Activity Complex, and right behind me here you can see the stage, the amphitheater, stadium seating. They got concerts here in the summer, but this place is surrounded by nature and open space, so it's a favorite for people to come and hang out, hike some of these ridges that are right behind me, mountain bike some of the trails that are out here. A favorite of a lot of people that move to Castle Rock. So this is going to be one of the top relocation spots for people thinking of a move to the Denver metro area. If you are like most of the clients that I've dealt with and you're moving from maybe Southern California or Houston or Austin, Texas, or maybe even a place on the East Coast where you're looking to get out of kind of the urban areas and looking for a little bit more active lifestyle, cleaner neighborhoods, newer neighborhoods, still with a family feel and a place that you can stay really active. Those are the reasons that draw a lot of people to this town of Castle Rock. So to give you guys a little bit of information on the town of Castle Rock, we're located just on the south end of Denver. You're about a 35-40 minute commute up into the heart of Denver. You're only about 25 minutes from like the Denver Tech Center, easy access to I-25, and the whole town of Castle Rock is kind of built around I-25 here. So very easy commutability if you need to get up into Denver or another one of the suburbs for work, because this is definitely kind of a bedroom community, very residential. Not a whole lot of like industrial complexes or corporate office buildings. There are some, and there's definitely places to open a new business if you're thinking of making a move down here. But by and large, Castle Rock is very much a residential centered community. I'm headed up one of the trails here at the Philip Miller Activity Complex. I'm just going to call it the MAC. That's what we call it down here in Castle Rock. Great place, like I said, to mountain bike or hike. And we're headed up to some of these ridges that kind of encircle this entire park. So this is not just your typical like rec center and playground area. There's so much more that this has to offer in this particular pocket of Castle Rock. So down in this activity complex, you do have a zipline tour company that's down here. That you can book tours on the zip lines. It's a very popular thing to do for people that are visiting Castle Rock for the day. There's also an adventure tower where you can do your rock climbing and other rappelling type of activities. And there's just a lot of active, healthy things to do in this particular complex. And did I mention mountain biking? That's a very popular thing to do, especially on these trails right here. Native trails that are cut out. You have miles and miles to explore down here. So you will see groups, congregating on the weekends or early mornings to do some of the mountain biking trips up here. These are also the trails that you'll go on to get to these different ziplining tours. So right now I'm on one of the, I guess you call it an observation tower that kind of overlooks the park. But you'll notice, it's maybe hard to see on this particular angle, but there's little observation, what they look like towers kind of all around this particular area. And that is for the ziplining tours. Now we're on one of the more natural trails here, but there are paved trails. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit less intensity, but you still want to get out and be active living, they got options for that as well. One of the most challenging things here is the miniature incline. So if you've been researching Colorado, you may have heard of the traditional incline that's down in Manitou Springs. It's over 2,000 steps. If you're training for that one, this is a good place to come and practice. They got a 200-step incline. It's very well maintained, so easy to get on and do a couple runs up and down. And if you don't want to come down the stairs, they do have a trail that kind of runs around the mountain to get you back down through some switchbacks that's a little less steep. It's a lot of steps to get up here to these observation towers on the zip line. Not only are you getting, you know, a cool adventurous thing to do, but you're going to get sweeping views of the mountains, of the town of Castle Rock, everything when you come to this park. So much for people to do, so much for families to do. Like I said, all those active things, but there's also a huge playground here, and, you know, outdoor activity area. There's also what they call an adventure tower. I mentioned the one talking about the rock climbing and the rappelling and things like that, but they also have one. It's geared a little bit more towards like an obstacle course. So if you're thinking American Ninja Warrior style things to do, they have that for kids, adults, anybody who really wants to get out there and be active. There are some great neighborhoods that surround this Miller Activity Complex. Not only ones that are just nearby, like Red Hawk, Meadows, and kind of the downtown Castle Rock area, but no matter where you live in Castle Rock, you're probably only a 5 to a 10-minute drive from your front door to this place. So that's why it's so popular among families. It's nice and close. You have it right out your front door. And there's a lot of trails in the neighborhoods like Red Hawk and the Meadows that if you just want to jump on your bike and ride down here, you can do that too. So if you're thinking of moving here, Castle Rock has a good blend of not only resale homes, but a lot of new construction happening as well, especially on the south end of town. They're really growing and expanding, and they have some big developments happening down there. And they're also putting a new interchange to connect to I-25, which is a major freeway that connects Castle Rock to Denver. So once that goes in and makes it a lot more convenient for all those neighborhoods down there to have easier access up into the Denver metro area, property values will probably go up as well. So median home prices in the town of Castle Rock right now are going to be right around $600,000 for a single family detached home. That's what you can kind of expect to pay. Now, most of the homes down here are going to be a little bit newer than other developments that you'll find around the metro area. So definitely newer than most of the parts of Littleton and Centennial. You've got a lot of this area built up in the late 90s, early 2000s up until present day. So before that, there was historic Castle Rock that, you know, was just a small town around the railroad where you will find homes that were 50, 75 years old. But for the most part, a lot of what you're going to find here is newer construction. So you're going to have more modern homes, higher ceilings, you know, recessed lighting, all the things that you typically think of with new construction, you will find down here. So more outdoor activities that people like to do around here. Like I said, there are a lot of paved trails, and if the area that I'm in right now, I know it's pretty steep and there's a lot of kind of moderate to intense trails over here. If you check out the Plum Creek Trail, that's going to be a little bit more moderate. It is paved, and it's probably the closest thing you're going to find to flat in Castle Rock, since we are kind of almost into the foothills. I wouldn't technically consider it into the mountains yet, but you do have a lot of rolling hills all around the town. You know, biking and hiking, you're definitely going to be a little bit more intense here. And another thing that a lot of people don't know is Castle Rock's probably about 1,000 feet higher than Denver Metro, right around 6,200 feet in elevation. So you do get winded a little bit easier, especially if you were coming from sea level. You need to make sure you give yourself some time to adapt to that change in altitude and make sure you're staying hydrated, because altitude and the dryness that we have here can be a little bit challenging to deal with when you first get into Colorado. Now, there's also a lot of swimming pools in and around Castle Rock, not only at the rec centers, but a lot of the local neighborhoods will also have their own pool, especially like neighborhoods like the Meadows, where your HOA dues go to pay for a clubhouse. They have a great pool set up there, one for kids, one for lap swimming and adults. So if you're, you know, wanting to stay active and swim, you know, through the summer months outdoors, you can do that. But there's also indoor pool activities here in the winter. Both rec centers have indoor pools to take the kids to during the winter to get them some activity. But to be honest, you don't need that many indoor activities here in Colorado. We have such nice weather kind of year round. You can get out and enjoy all that Castle Rock has to offer most days. We got a lot of sunny days through the winter where it's 45 and 50 degrees. You'll be comfortable in a t-shirt when it's sunny out. The only time where it's, you know, really, really cold here, Castle Rock, is kind of that January or February point of the year, where we do have, you know, highs that are single digits, teens and 20s, but those are fairly short-lived, and we don't have long stretches or snaps where we got to worry about freeze warnings or anything like that. So definitely a great place to live year round. So it is really nice to have all this stuff nearby, but if you ever get bored with this, there's tons of stuff that are right outside the city for you to explore. So if you're looking for another kind of moderate hike, but a little bit more scenery and a little bit more of a canyon style, cliff style, along with some rock climbing, Castlewood Canyon State Park is a great place to go and explore. And that's just to the east side of Castle Rock. Makes for a great day trip with the kids. And like I said, it's not too hard. There's a lot of moderate trails there and a lot of easy trails, but you can, have a little bit of a different change of scenery with the canyons, rivers, and waterfalls that are back in that area. And then if you're looking for even something more intense or, something that is more mountainous, we got tons of things that are nearby, like Dawson's Butte, where you can do snowshoeing or more hiking on natural trails. And then, if you really want to get intense and do like your 14ers, like climbing a 14,000 foot in altitude mountain, we got Pikes Peak just to the south. If you are coming here, I wouldn't recommend that be your first one unless you have like trained other places specifically for that type of a hike. It's a really long one. It was my mistake choosing to do that one as my first 14er because I just chose it because it was the closest to where I lived. I was like, yeah, let's go down there, do it. How hard can it be, right? I've lived in Colorado my whole life. Well, from the base to the top, not only was it 14,000 feet, but 14 miles from the base all the way to the top. And to say I was gassed by the end of it and had to hitchhike my way back down the mountain, that's a true story. That happened. Had to hitch a ride with a couple that had driven all the way to the top. So this area that we have right here is a splash pad in the summer for little kids to come, and it's surrounded by picnic tables and awnings so you can stay in the shade, not cook in that Colorado sun during those 80-degree days we have here in the summer. So a really nice place. Looks like they're getting it set up right now. Well guys, we finished the stairs. 200 up, 200 down. And as you can see, not super crowded. It gets a little busy on the weekends around here, especially summer where you got kids' activities, soccer games, lacrosse games, all that good stuff. But great place to come and hang out for the day and live your active lifestyle. Now, something else a lot of people ask me when they are thinking of the move to Castle Rock, gyms and gym selection. What are the choices as far as gyms go? Well, we got 24 Hour Fitness, we got Planet Fitness, and we got a bunch of smaller local gyms. We do have like the Anytime Fitness, and then a bunch of like CrossFit or boutique style gyms where maybe Pilates, yoga, all those different specialties. But pretty good selection. And one not a lot of people know about is Ubergrippen, which is really a indoor rock climbing place. But they also have their own gym there. And if you get a monthly membership there, not only do you have all that unlimited rock climbing and some of the classes they offer for that, but access to their indoor small gym, which is really nice, clean, new equipment, and kind of a hidden gem here in Castle Rock. So guys, we've moved over to downtown Castle Rock and specifically Festival Park. So I said we were kind of done with the outdoor activities and living, but there's just too many to not highlight this spot. Great place. They have concerts here in the summer, farmers markets on the weekend, all kinds of good stuff happening down here. And you got some of my local favorite coffee shops. Coff 33, which is right here in downtown. Also Dazbog. I know that's a chain, but I really like it. Strong Russian coffee is always good. And there's tons of places just to walk around, explore, let the kids ride their bikes. And then a lot of local eateries too. So your local restaurants and ice cream shops are going to be down in this area. So great place to take the family on an evening or, a Saturday morning. Great place. Breakfast spots, lunch spots, dinner spots for date night. Everything you really need right here in downtown Castle Rock. So guys, there's really a nice, clean community feel when you come down here to Old Town or downtown Castle Rock. You have your local shopping at like the Barn or the Emporium with local vendors there. You have all your restaurants, all your coffee shops, cafes, parks, like I mentioned, like farmers markets on the weekends. And the city puts on a bunch of events throughout the entire year. Everything from like, car show on Father's Day to Oktoberfest to the big one that's called the Star Lighting, where they light the star on top of Castle Rock, the rock that kind of this town was named after. So a lot of cool things for families especially, and a very welcoming atmosphere. A lot of people out today, super friendly, all smiles, and gotta say it, no homeless people. So if you're looking for a place with a lot of outdoor activities, amenities, and a community feel, small town with great parks and open space to raise your kids at, Castle Rock could be the perfect option for you. Downsides or things people don't like about Castle Rock, or some people think it's a little bit too far from the Denver metro area. If you are into a lot of nightlife and you want live local theater nearby, and you want to get to your sporting events pretty quickly, it's going to be a trek from Castle Rock. We don't have public transportation down here, so that is one of the reasons that we don't have the same homeless problem that Denver and Aurora seem to have. And to be honest, the community and the city does a really good job of identifying the people that do need help and getting them the services and getting them to the right place. So I get a lot of hate or disagreement when I call out Denver for some of the homeless problems that are occurring down there and them not doing anything to address them. But you don't find those same problems in a lot of the other smaller communities around. So Castle Rock definitely has a lot going for it in terms of attracting families, young professionals, and people who just want to raise their kids in a clean environment. So let's go through a couple of my favorite neighborhoods real quick before we end this video so you guys know exactly where to look. Don't be afraid to hit me up. Call, text, or email. The info on the screen. I got your back on all things Denver real estate, and we can go even more in depth into all these great neighborhoods. So starting off on the west side, the Meadows. This is a favorite of a lot of people that relocate out here. It's close to I-25. It's close to Highway 85 or Santa Fe that gets up into Littleton and Denver. So if you do have to commute for work, that can be a great neighborhood where it'll minimize the amount of time you have in the car. If you're a hybrid or maybe remote worker, a lot of the other neighborhoods are perfect as well, but that one is going to give you the quickest access up into Denver or the Littleton or Highlands Ranch area. Median home price, like I said, $600,000 in that neighborhood. The other two to the east that are kind of favorites of first-time home buyers or people just looking for their first single-family home, maybe they're moving up from a condo or townhome, is the neighborhood of Founders Village and Castlewood Ranch. These are on the east end, so they're a little bit set back from like downtown and the interior parts of Castle Rock and I-25, so a little bit longer commute times, but you can get a single-family home there for under $500,000. So like I said, if you're looking to move up into your first single family, or they also have houses in the $600,000 and $700,000 range as well. So if you are thinking of moving up and you like the neighborhood and that area where it's close to Castlewood Canyon, great option. And the third, if you're looking for new construction or the newest developments in Castle Rock, Crystal Valley on the south end off of I-25 and Crystal Valley Parkway, that new interchange that's going in. It's going to be your best option for newest construction currently building in that area. And median home prices are going to be right around $650,000, $700,000. For resale homes, they're right around $600,000 as well. So 3 of my top favorite neighborhoods for people relocating here. There are so many others, and if you guys need a more in-depth look at Castle Rock, a while back I did an hour-long video just on the neighborhoods of Castle Rock and different things that this town has to offer. So make sure you check out that video. I will remember to link it in the video description below. Castle Rock, everything you need to know. So until next time, guys, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.